Hello and welcome to that Peter Crouch podcast. Me, Peter Crouch, notorious SID, and could you start with me? Yeah, we had a little funny start there off air, didn't we? All good?
Yeah,
really okay?
Good, really good. What a great weekend.
Oh, yeah, it was a great weekend, wasn't it?
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
We enjoyed it.
So good.
It was a lot of fun, wasn't it? You know, like obviously, it was I had to do a forfeit. We were just obviously reminiscing about some of the things that happened on the day. Listen, it was embarrassing, but I think the reaction's been good. It's really helped Farnham. We spoke to Harry Hugo and all the team at Farnham Town. Really pleased with it. Because, you never know, do you, how it's going to go, how it's going to be received. But it seemed to be received pretty well. And
definitely.
We had a great day.
Look, you've probably seen it by now. It ended up going... When we thought it would go big, I don't think we realised how big it would go. I saw it on like TNT and Sky Sports. It was, I think as well, because it was international weekends, there was extra attention on this because it was some of the only football news from over the last few days.
Yeah.
But before we kick it off, Pete, I just got to say as well, what people won't have seen is... You must have it must have been a world record for the most amount of selfies.
I've got a picture
or signatures.
Great picture.
And I kept saying like, lad, like go. You can go and chill for a bit if you want. And you were like, it was almost like if you turn up to Farnham Town, there was a record attendance for this game. You were almost adamant that you would meet every single person. I just want to say fair play to you, because I think it's a side that people might not have seen from all the fun that was there, or even kind of expect of you. But you're obviously doing the forfeit because me and Sid's had come up with this idea and wanted you to be mascot. But also well done, because I just thought you... well, you saw it all. I just thought it was class what you did.
No, I appreciate that, lads. You know what? There was, when you spoke to people, there was people that had driven from Essex, from Bournemouth. Like all over the country to come. And basically laugh at me. But you know what? Everyone was so nice. I actually felt they were laughing with me. Bizarrely, and obviously they came to laugh at me because they wanted to see me in a small kit and running out with 9-year-olds. But it ended up being like you say, and then I think the fact that they have travelled and stuff, and you kind of want to make it special for them, don't you? So it's hard to kind of turn down an autograph or a thing. It was a bit hairy at times.
You nearly made it really special with that crossbar challenge, because that was so close. Your first one bounced and hit the roof of the net. It must have just missed.
I know.
Sid's called it when it left your foot.
I knew it was a good connection. I thought I've got that.
Yeah.
Oh my God! That would,
and the last
I don't know if you know, but like obviously Harry Hugo, the owner of Farnham Town, he said he was going to do a free bar for 45 minutes if I hit the crossbar. But there was, granted, we met the girls that were working behind the bar. After the game, they said if you'd have hit that would have. It was bad enough anyway, and people were paying for it.
It was a record amount of drinks.
Was the record attendance and the record gate receipts and money made from the game. So all in all, it was good from Farnham, and it was good for us.
Yeah, and a great forfeit, and it's got us on a kind of dare I say it, a wartime footing almost, in a refreshed attitude to this league. A reminder that none of us want to lose this league, because how do you go bigger than that?
Well, that is what worries me now. I'm going to take this so serious.
I'm not messing about.
Every single week from now on, I'm on this. Because normally I'm a little bit slack. I go, I'll have a little look when I get in. I'm asking the lads to get me these games
do some
a couple
homework,
of days in advance, because I don't want to get this forfeit.
No. Do you know what? One of the worst things was for me was it was top v second, wasn't it? First v second.
Yeah.
It's a big game, and rightly so, everyone's taking it seriously. So when I went into the dressing room, it was like a proper scenario. Like it felt like when I was playing, we were about to go out to war.
Yeah.
And everyone was focused and switched on. And then I come in with 6 other kind of 8, 9, 10-year-olds, and I've got a little program. I've got to go around and ask all the players for signatures. And obviously they're like, fucking know what's going on. So I'm going round and getting autographs, and everyone was really nice. And then obviously the manager says, have you got any cushions for the team? And obviously I asked if I how could I make it as a football player? That's the first one. And for the second question, I won't say it because I think we've got a little a bit of the day coming out maybe on a Friday, like a little bonus thing of our day there. So I'll let you know what you'll have to go and look at the episode to find out what the second question was, but it made them laugh.
But the player holding your hand when you came out as well, Jack Dean, I think it's the vice captain there, is now a friend of the pod, surely. Like
yeah. I mean, he's right up there with friends of the pod.
Fair play to him. Serious game, as you say, 1v2. And he comes out holding your hand.
Well, he said to me, he just looked at me and he just said, "Look, we're doing this now, aren't we?" And I said, "Yeah," because we drew him out of a hat. And he said, "Are we holding hands?" And I said, "I think we're going to have to."
It's when you stand in front of him. It's like,
and after that, what did the ref say to you?
Oh
The
yeah,
ref.
have a great day, young man.
it's good.
Everyone embraced it. It was great.
Well, look, hopefully we have a little bonus thing coming out with that, and you'll see that. I mean, if you haven't seen it already, it's doing the rounds. Search it up on social. In other wider pod news, Crouchy, I wanted to bring your attention to this, and it's sent in from Alex Sutton, who was in an Indian restaurant in Surrey. And there's a picture on the wall.
Oh, hold on a minute.
A full endorsement from Steve
Sidwell on the wall with the. Is this the restaurateur?
So
This is my local.
Do you even cheat on the Samrat?
Mindful that the Samrat has
Look at that, moved on straight away.
For a while. This photo on the wall.
This is old. It's an old picture. It's my local. This is the new Khyber, because the original was just the Khyber.
Yeah.
The new Khyber. I feel like this is the first time we're hearing about an Indian restaurant that I think is going to become prominent on the podcast.
Can you remember that Mr. Islam, right? He must be sitting there listening to this going, "Oh, I've moved on already."
He's passed the baton on.
He's moved
Mr.
on.
Islam has happily passed
Where
the
are we
baton
going?
on.
The new Khyber.
The new Khyber.
This is the new Khyber.
The Khyber Chiefs will be there.
Hey, listen, it's a great curry. Listen, let's go there.
Is it top drawer?
It's
Well, I'm
good,
looking
mate.
for a new one since the Samrat's closed down.
It's nice, mate. With,
Maybe this is what we do. You know, like a sort of talent show to find the next big pop star. Maybe we find our next curry house. Do you know? Maybe we go and test a few out.
I've got a great one we need to test out. This is my mate's one in Twickenham. It's phenomenal.
Okay.
You know why? I think it's once every couple of months they have an Elvis there.
Oh,
It's phenomenal.
That's when you know it's a
a
good
curry
one.
house with an Elvis in it.
Yeah.
You have to buy tickets. He's unbelievable.
well, let's
okay.
definitely.
Well, let's try that.
Hey,
Look, I know we get onto a few of these sort of side missions, but perhaps we need to find a new curry house, a new home. Maybe we try out a few. So send in your recommendations as well.
I think we go as a podcast to the Elvis one. Though I definitely think we try the new Khyber.
More for it.
You know, we'll
Sid, is this the only restaurant you endorse?
I don't endorse it. There's actually a few on that wall. There's a few other.
Is there?
Yeah, Declan Rice is on
Declan
there.
Rice?
There's a few of the lads on there. It's a local. It's a nice one.
Do you know
You'll
what?
enjoy it. They're good guys.
I once went to there was an Indian restaurant in Hampstead. I think anyone who lives out that railway would know it. The Paradise, and we used to go there quite a bit. And quite a lot of musicians live in the area, so you'd see various musicians there, whatever. And I remember I was in there with Miles Kane once, and he said to me, "They're doing a curry for me." And obviously Miles Kane was in Last Shadow Puppets with Alex Turner. Right, so obviously he knows the Arctic Monkeys really well. So he said, "Yeah, I'll come in there for ages, and they've done me a curry." I said, "Oh, wait, well, ledge." Well, we went down there, like it's like the unveiling. It's called an Arctic Merg. There's nothing to do with Miles Kane at all. It was Alex.
They think it was Alex Turner.
I definitely thought it was Alex Turner, or he came in with Alex Turner once, but he thought he was going to get curry, and unfortunately. He didn't know. But I think if on the menu, I think there is still an Arctic Merc on the menu, and that was for Miles Kane.
Well, let's get. We need to get a Peter Crouch podcast curry dish somewhere on someone's menu.
Yeah, or a few different places, and maybe I don't know whether we branch out from curry as well. I mean, do we invite other restaurants? What I love is restaurants that put pictures of famous people on the wall, and it's always with one of the lads who works there.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to San Carlo in the one in Manchester?
No,
That's
what?
fun, but like you never see it. That wall they've got there is just insane, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Loads of celebrities.
They're
Loads.
mad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's everywhere. Scalini's.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Another one.
Like De Niro in there,
Yeah.
everything. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. We need to find a new restaurant that's kind of home of the podcast.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, we're forced into this position. It's not one we've chosen.
Yeah.
But you know, like when the Queen went, and new one takes place. Like we need to perhaps.
Yeah. Well, get your suggestions in if you own a restaurant, either, and you'd like us to endorse you. Right, I'm going to glaze over this this international break pretty quick.
Yep.
Because England Andorra was 2-0. That's all I'm going to say on it. Germany were 3-1. Northern Ireland and Denmark were 0-0. The predictions were 3 points for Crouch, 4 points for Chris, and 5 points.
No, 4.
Oh, that's definitely a lie.
I'm going to be honest here. So
it's 4 points.
I've got an extra point there for Denmark, Scotland.
Have you? They balls down.
They've balls it up.
And did I get 3 points from this weekend? Because I was almost certain I didn't.
You did.
Did I actually?
Germany, Northern Ireland last night. Last night, Sunday night.
You had 3-1.
You had 3-1.
Right, I wasn't even aware the game was last night.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of just going to glaze over this bit, really. It's international break.
Crouchy, 3 points is absolutely
Farnham
fucking
Town.
massive.
You didn't even know you had 3 points.
You got 3 points.
I can't believe that.
I know.
This is massive. This isn't an admin error. I've got 3 points.
It is legit. He actually thought he said 3-1. Before you got here,
I've been going through it like with a fine tooth comb.
We just watched we watched the recording. He said, "I'm sure I done 3-1."
Oh really?
I thought I had it. Yeah, I thought I had it. It was 5-4-1.
That is
so.
brilliant.
I'm going to hold my hand up and say there's an honest mistake there. So I am on 8 points.
Okay, all right. So Sid's on 8, Crouch on 8, and Chris on 6. So Chris, you're right back in the mix.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Just a quick one on current news. Obviously, Daniel Levy's left Tottenham.
Yeah.
I mean, he has done an amazing job off the field, hasn't he? And I think there was a lot of issues with the fans, and I speak to a lot of Tottenham fans, and they weren't happy with certain things that were going on, and I understand that as well. It just feels like a bit of a shock, kind of mid-season, not even halfway through the season, just the start of the season for it to happen. Whatever has gone on, listen, I think he did give his all to Spurs, and he made mistakes along the way, definitely. But if you look at the business of the club now, and the stadium, the training ground, and kind of what he's left behind, I think certainly when someone leaves like that, you end up looking at it from a good point of view, and he has done a lot of good work there.
You feel as though he's bailed out at the top, really. Like you said there, the stadium is unbelievable, best in Europe, maybe. Training grounds, brilliant. Got him a trophy. I say got him. Come out with them winning the European trophy. You feel as though he's gone out at the right place. But
the issues with the players, I don't think he improved the team. Just when they had the team that was so close to winning the league almost.
That's it.
I think if you went again, then you end up you stay in that, and I think that was the issue with the fans. He didn't continue what Pochettino was kind of out of his skin, I think, and then he got a great squad together. He just needs to keep improving that, and I don't think they did.
But you've always said if you had a football club, he would be the one that you'd kind of want to run it, but the way he does. So it'd be interesting to see now how Spurs run that football club, because they've done it in a certain way for the last 25 years. Are they going to go in a different direction? Is it going to be right? Is it going to be wrong? I don't know. There's some people saying it could be not a good idea that he's left, but it's in the balance now.
Main memory? Going around his house?
Leaving was my main memory.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ruthless, but I suppose that's...
Remind us.
Well, he was just like, basically we've had an offer from Stoke. And I said, oh yeah, it was deadline day. And he said, so you'll be leaving. And I said, I've got 2 years left. So I've done all right here. I thought, I love it here. I'm living in London. We're all settled. He said, yeah, that doesn't matter, basically. You're off. And I was like, we're signed now to Bayern. We're getting 10 million for you, 30 years old. And we're getting 6 million for Wilson Palacios, who's got a dodgy knee, basically. And that's 16 million. And I was like, well, I'm happy here. And that was it. And I left. And then our phone just did not stop ringing. It was, basically.
Did he get you a gift?
Did he give me a gift? Told me I wouldn't get a squad number.
Oh, then fuck him then. Don't send him a card. No.
Get me a gift. That was it, mate. Ruthless. But you know what? Like I say, if you run a football club and it's dog eat dog, isn't it? And I totally get it. I've got no bad blood. If I spoke to him now at the time, I said that's harsh. you know, but now, you know, I get it. It's business, isn't it? You know, I'm a commodity that is 30 years old that you're getting 10 million for. Good business to move me on.
Yeah.
But still, it's my business to go where I want to go or be where I want to be. So you both, you know, I ended up coming to an agreement.
I'll say, I'm sure Crouch Luck come out on top.
Well, I was in a great position. I was like,
you're just holding the cards.
Yeah, you know, basically, they're not going to take Wilson Palacios unless I go as well. So that's 16 million.
Exactly.
You know, I didn't get that, but
oh, you did well, mate. You've done very, very well.
On another news, quickly, did you see Michael Owen?
Yes. Well, there's all sorts
with
this Owen stuff, isn't it? There's different levels to it.
What do you make of it? So, because I remember when Michael Owen burst on the scene, and he did burst on the scene. It was outrageous what he'd done in the first few years, and I think it's actually set a tone for the new generation to go, I was an unbelievable player. And it actually reminds me of how good he was.
Yeah. Well,
he was good.
I think, you know, spending time with Michael, like, you know what he's like. I don't think, because he was comfortable there with Rio, he's actually just probably saying how he would talk to us, like off air. You know, and I really liked it about the interview, you know. You think he's 17, 18, and he said, forget about the Ballon d'Or. No player's ever going to score, win the Golden Boot 2 years on the spin at 17 and 18. Yeah. That is bursting on the scene, right? And no player will ever do that again.
No. And you think about the other strikers that there was around that time.
He was outrageous.
Yeah. I don't know what... I think to a certain extent here, people almost want him to join in some of the fun that people take the piss out of him about.
Yeah.
But like, he's obviously going to be proud of his career, and
so should
from
be.
his comments, I thought he represents it well. The funny thing about Michael Owen, I've noticed, is like he's always the comparison person. He's always there whenever there's a new talent that comes out, like a young player. He's always compared, and there's always comparing and contrasting. And I think he's just finally sort of, I guess, nibbled a little bit at those
but I think you know, people are going like look at the current crop of England players. Like what you said, Jude Bellingham's probably just like a superstar.
Yeah.
What Declan Rice, like forward, like Harry Kane, obviously has been an incredible player. But at 17 and 18, there was no one. I mean, he shook the world.
Yes.
You know, and I think that is a different scenario, you know, like everyone in the world knew his name at 17, 18. He's winning golden boots at that age. Yeah. Regardless of what you think of him, at that age, he was the best player on the planet, up there with the best players on the planet. You know, he would get in any team
easily,
and obviously he had his injuries and stuff like that. It kind of held him back as well. I think there's an element of like maybe the generation now not knowing actually how good he was as a player.
Yeah, and you want to, I guess you want to firmly establish and remind people of your legacy, and sometimes perhaps you need to, especially if you're the type of player that is doing quite a lot of media or a lot of interviews and things like that, because that stuff sort of acts as maybe a bit of a buffer between your playing career and
people
what you
forget,
do now.
Don't they?
Yeah.
I remember I was with Steve Stone, right, in Dubai, and I was at the bar. And he said hello, and then we got chatting. I played with Steve Stone at Villa, and he said it was. He said mental. I said, "How you doing now?" He said, "I think he was coaching Newcastle at the time," and he just went to me. He said, "It's amazing." He said, "You know, I played for England." He was at United 6. Did a really good career for England. Was doing great at Villa, and he said the minute I retired, he said, "There's a minute everyone forgot who I was."
That's true.
It's mental. He said, "I've got young kids now. I'm trying to coach them, and they're like trying to mug me off." Obviously I'm there, I'm like you're Steve Stone, like I've got a tremendous amount of respect for him, but you know, so the young lads, they don't remember him, so that it's just amazing how quickly your career gets forgotten.
Fair play then.
For Michael Owen, fair play.
Okay, this next part of the podcast is supported by Paddy Power. This is the big weekend fixture. It's Manchester City versus Manchester United. Obviously a massive game. City are 8-13. United are 15-4. A repeat of last meeting was 2-1 United. You get that 12-1.
Oh yeah, look at the last 5 Prem meetings. 2 wins for City, 2 wins for United. 1 draw.
Shaky starts for United and City this season.
Well, United are above City, aren't they, in the league?
Yeah, and everyone's talking about crisis at United.
Yeah. This is at City, so I mean, I think they're still finding their feet a little bit. City getting in the rhythm, but they're strong at home.
I think this is a good game for City. Like Burnley at home is a potential banana skin. You know what I mean? Especially at home, I just think that's a difficult game for them. Like if they're not winning, the crowd are on them. Yeah. Whereas I think going as bad as this sounds for a Manchester derby, you go to City and you're not expected to win. I think you can go and get if you get a positive result, I think the whole mindset of United could change.
It's averaged 2.6 goals per game in the last 5 Premier League meetings between the clubs. Do you know what worries me with this and these fixtures coming up? It's just after the international break. That always worries me. Especially the big teams, because they get some players late because they have the travel and when they've played. So, and someone like Pep would have loved to have had a 4 weeks training with these players, which is not going to have had it. Probably be 2 days, maybe.
Looked like he enjoyed himself though. I was watching tennis, US Open. He was at the US Open tennis. Yeah, New York.
That's such a good point, because you've got games last night, haven't you?
Yeah, you won't be able to train till they'll be flying back. Train Thursday.
Well, we would have had players that have come back like Thursday or even on the Friday, the day before the game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, especially the ones out in South America and stuff like that.
That always worries me with the games, especially big games as well.
Difficult one to call then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to call it? Have you put it out there, Chris?
I have worked it out there. Yeah. Is this one of these where like both teams have got a sort of negativity surrounding them, but the prize is more than just the points potentially for either team that wins, because it's such a fan favourite. You've got to win this game between the two of them, Do you see what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Like, does it inject that much needed positivity that perhaps a different Premier League game might not have?
That's
it would just be seen as a good win.
Yeah,
rather
that's
than,
right. It can really kickstart your season. Both struggled so far.
Yeah.
It can really beating your local rivals, in the derby.
Yeah.
Just that you can imagine everyone singing, everyone happy on the way home.
It's a bit of a reset. It might offer as an opportunity to both teams.
And I think you're right there. I think it's bigger for Man U as well because of the cup draw, the defeat to Grimsby, was it? I think he needs to get the fans back on side a bit, and I think this could be the one.
I will shout out a few people who've DM'd me their predictions. Damon Rees-Oxley. I always like hearing the names. Ben Smith, Chris Buswell. Chris Buswell sounds like a relative of yours. This is a great name. Jack Penfold.
Jack Penfold.
Sounds like a Bond villain.
Yeah.
Love him. Should we see what he's saying?
That was Danger Mouse's guy, wasn't it? Penfold?
Was it? Penfold?
Yeah. Penfold was his little assistant with the glasses.
Danger Mouse was just slightly before my time, I think. Aware of Danger Mouse's work, but not.
Fantastic.
Never really saw it.
It was a cracker. I was a big fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penfold stole the show for me.
Come on then, let's see what Jack Penfold's saying. He's saying, all right, boys, regards to your families. There was a lot of that this weekend, by the way. A lot of that. It says, play it simple. He's gone a City 2-1.
Missionary.
Most people going City, I think. The occasional Desmond here. But for that reason, I'm probably going to follow Penfold here.
Are you going to go into 2-1 City?
3-1.
Oh.
You got 3-1?
You dinged it? I don't know. I'm just sort of knocking this around a bit, seeing what you're saying. What are you saying?
You want to know what I am saying? I think it's going to be a draw.
Do you?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a draw. Going to sit on the fence. Let's say 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, do you want me to
go? Please.
I'm going to go 3-1 Man City.
All right, I'll go 2-1 Man City.
Oh, no one's gone Man U.
Okay, all right. All right, then let's get into the Paddy's Boost. This is where we pick a leg of a Crouch Pod bet builder. The odds on that bet builder will then be boosted by 20% and put on the special section of the website and app.
Yeah, can I just apologise for this in the last podcast, because I selected a player that wasn't playing.
Oh, really? Did you pause that right up?
Did you?
Yeah, I got a few messages about that. So I'll kick this one off with an obvious one, if that's all right, guys. Go for it. I'm going to go to score first, Haaland.
Okay.
All right. Go on.
Okay, I'll go with a player to be carded. Euro.
Okay, I'm going to go for a player to have 2 or more shots on target. I'm going to go for Brian Mbeumo.
Yeah, he does like a shot. Odds are correct at time of recording. Please gamble responsibly. Next game is Arsenal v Forest. Started the season well. Arsenal, obviously a narrow defeat to Liverpool was a bit of a crushing blow. Didn't really come out in that game, I didn't think. Didn't really go for it.
No.
But yeah, looking to bounce back against Forest.
Yeah, it was Forest. They're always a tricky team, aren't they? The Wood obviously flying, isn't he? Still. I think this has got a potential to be a banana skin for Arsenal.
Elliot Anderson played well for England, didn't he?
Wow.
I just think with Forest, there's huge hype now on Arsenal. They've got to be going for the league. That's where they got to be looking at what they come second to past 3 seasons. They've got to now be going, right, this has got to be our season. And I think they've got a great shot and they need to win games like this to be winning the league. But Forest just sometimes throw just little firework in there every now and again. I've got a feeling this could be the one.
Gosh, tricky. I'm just looking at people's predictions on here. Skid Billy says...
Pardon? Skid Billy?
Uno Bolico, Mr. Flamethrower, Senior Longlegs. Arsenal 2, Forest 0. The Bald Golfer. Arsenal 2, Forest 2. It's quite very Curtis Jones.
He's going to
Forest 2, Arsenal 1. See, that's really splitting the field.
Jesus Christ, that's from Liverpool's Curtis Jones.
I don't know. It's a Curtis Jones, potentially from Liverpool.
No.
It says in his profile, London. London's Curtis Jones.
Okay.
Well, I went first last time, so I'll let you guys go.
Well, I'm happy to go. I'm going to go for 2-1 Arsenal. Arsenal to nick it in the last few minutes.
Oh, but you think of Forest goal. I'm going to go Arsenal 3, Forest 0.
Oof.
That's punchy, that, isn't it? But I think Arsenal look good.
Okay. I don't like doing this, so I'm going to go against myself, and I'm going to go for a Arsenal 1-0 win.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to scrape it.
Okay, next game, Everton Villa. Might have been a few fears that Everton might struggle this season, but going to the new stadium, they've looked good.
Our boy Jackie Grealish.
Yes, mate. Great to see him enjoying his football again.
Assist after assist after assist.
Dewsbury Hall's a good signing as well.
Good goal.
I think they've signed well, haven't they? Like, Grealish he looks like he's enjoying himself.
Well, it's the Grealish Chumbawamba, isn't it?
Yeah. Chumbawamba.
That's the story so far.
Yeah. And Villa they're not firing at the moment. Villa.
No.
They're just struggling
at
the minute. Yeah.
To score goals, right?
Yeah.
So this is at Everton, yeah?
Yes.
So the buzz is still there. They've only played there once, haven't they? They've only had one home game. Was it 2?
So.
Maybe. So, yeah, they're still... The fans are loving going to this new one. Just... Again, Villa on their day can beat anyone, but they need to get their act going. This has always been a good game, this, Everton-Villa. I think this could be close. Chris?
Yeah, it feels like about time Villa score. I think I'm going to go an Everton win here just because I think Grealish is on fire. I feel it in my bones as well, and everyone seems to be. Most people are suggesting an Everton win. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Everton 2, Villa 0. Oh, I see a Villa goal though. I see the first.
Everton's you could go 2-0.
Pains you this, Sid.
Yeah, because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose his forfeit. I'm not even joking. All right, I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to say 1-1.
1-1.
Didn't you go 1-1 in? That's 2 horny draws for you, isn't it?
That is 2 horny draws.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why are draws horny again?
I can't remember.
Let's make them horny.
I don't know why they are horny. I'm going to go 3-0 then. 3-0 Everton.
Whoa.
Comfortable.
Whoa.
Whoa. Odds are correct at time recording. Please gamble responsibly. This part of the podcast is sponsored by Huel. As you know, Sid's mornings are complete chaos. Certainly in my household.
Yeah.
We've both got 4 kids.
Yeah.
The Huel Black edition saves the day, to be honest.
I'm exactly like you. Either grab a banana, grab a bit of fruit because do the school drop, then I go to the gym. I want to get something in there before a workout. So this is perfect.
It goes way beyond a quick protein boost, Sids. It's a complete meal. It's less than £2 per meal, all being packed with 40 grams of plant-based protein, 26 essential vitamins and minerals, plus no added sugar, gluten-free, tastes great, and flavours like it's got salted caramel, chocolate, vanilla's my one.
Plus, mate, it keeps me full for hours. It's the perfect breakfast, lunch, or even a post-workout.
Right, Sid, just when you thought Huel had everything covered, they've dropped the Super Greens drink in a can. This is the Huel Daily Greens ready to drink. Do you know what's got in it, Sids? 41 vitamins and minerals and superfoods, Super Greens. So this is one I didn't know until you told me that you have this, right? Lion's mane mushroom.
It's like a superfood kind of thing for the brain cells.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
So it hasn't got any of lion's mane in it?
No. No, you should think you would. Are we going to go in? Are we tasting?
I'm just hoping it's not going to be hairy. The blueberry, lemon and thyme.
Okay.
Ironically, it's saving time and it has time in it.
Legit, that is nice.
Legit, don't ever say legit to me. Don't ever say legit to me again. Add that to your morning routine, Sids.
Legit.
Together, Huel makes healthy eating simple. Try both today with £10 off your purchase with my exclusive code Crouch10 at huel.com/Crouch10. Use my code and fill out the post-checkout survey to help support the show. This episode of That Peter Crouch podcast is brought to you by Cinch. Cars without the faff.
Now, listen, we know a lot of you love cars, but it can be quite hard finding one that you can properly fall in love with, one that fits into your life.
I know all about that. My height, constantly growing kids, and of course I've got to get my extra long golf clubs in it.
So when it comes to finding a new car for the school run or for going to golf, you need it to be absolutely right, and this is where Cinch comes in.
Yes, they're an online retailer. They simplify the process, so trust the process.
And they have the biggest range of cars to buy entirely online, which is really important for a tall, picky man like Peter Crouch.
You can browse online with the family right from your sofa. They've got over 40,000 Trustpilot 5-star reviews.
They've even got Cinch servicing aftercare when you've bought the car, giving you access to reliable, easy-to-book servicing at over 70 convenient locations across the country. It's just an unreal combination.
If you, like me, want to cinch your next car, visit cinch.co.uk. Right, guys, we're going to get our guest on. This is someone, obviously, I work with at TNT, someone I played with. Yeah. Actually, when I made my England debut in 2005, he was part of that squad and part of it for the next 5 years. So someone I know really well, love him as a fella. Yeah. Top lad, really good lad. And a great player, and what a career.
Yeah. Are you going to mention him? Or not?
What?
You going to mention his name?
His name's Owen Hargreaves.
Nice. Some build.
I just thought
you just wanted to tease it.
Yeah.
Just wanted to tease it.
I think everyone knows by now.
He's a great lad.
No, he's a top man. He's a top man. Unfortunately, you're going to miss it, Sid. You're going to Amsterdam.
Yeah, I'm getting subbed out. I'm going to the Dam.
Yeah.
So it's for work purposes. This is no. I'm sorry. Jolly up. Yeah, there's a construction convention out there, and the side business, the side hustle that I've got going on with the box-free projects. We're going to go there. We're going to network, got some lunches, and then.
Well, may your box be free in Amsterdam.
Don't have to take that.
But you got to get. You're going to. You're going to get a line bike to the airport.
Yeah, so at the moment, I believe the tube strike is on.
Well, yeah, this is a bit behind the scenes here. Like, basically, we've had an absolute shocker today. I've got here late, which means Sid's has now got to get his plane. So it's actually my fault. I was getting my balls examined on the other end of town. There's no tubes, so...
Balls okay?
Well, ball.
Yeah. Is it ball?
Plural.
Ball okay?
No, it seems to be.
Yeah. It's hanging in there.
All good. Now,
that's good.
We move.
Hanging in there.
So anyway, because of that, Owen Hargreaves is on the way.
Yeah, well.
And Sid's is off to Amsterdam.
Well, I'm going to go to the Dam, and I'll send you a couple of videos.
Let me know.
Some voice
Please do.
notes.
Please do.
Okay.
Please do. All right. Owen Hargreaves. Right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Owen Hargreaves.
Thank you for having me.
How are you? Yeah, it's been a long time coming, Lisso. Well, I've known you a long time. I think.
When's the first time we met?
Okay. First time we met, well, I imagined it was...
You're definitely going to get this wrong.
Yeah, I know. 2005 England squad. Portugal.
Crouchy, we met... Well, I don't know if we met.
You're going to say way before that.
We played against each other in 1997.
Oh.
I think. Did you go to the Milk Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were at the Milk Cup with...
Yeah. With
Wales.
Bayern. No, was it Bayern?
Was it Wales?
I don't. But I remember seeing this lad that was really tall, and looking over, and somebody told me after that it was you. But that was literally, I think I was 16. What year was it?
Yeah, I was.
You remember that?
Yeah, I was. Well, I was at the Milk Cup.
No, I just remember. Somebody tells you after the fact, say, these guys played in this tournament.
I think you were younger.
Made it.
I think. Well, I was 14 when I went to the Milk Cup.
Yeah, I was 16.
Well, yeah, but you're not 2 years older than me.
No, but you obviously you look bigger, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you play up sometime?
I think no, we played under 16s. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I think I might have been 15, but we played under 16s.
Yeah, I was 16. It was my first tournament, and that's. Yeah, I remember.
No way. So we ended up winning that tournament. I was there at Tottenham.
Did you?
Yeah.
But at that age, it is tricky because you do have some players that are sort of freakishly big for their age at that point. You have to get them ID'd afterwards.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I used to get hammered all the time because people said if I scored or did well, all the parents were like, yeah, but he's older.
How big were you at 16?
Well, I was well on the way to being, 6'3" or something.
Yeah, because not like taking the piss, but you stuck out.
Did I?
Yeah.
That's not like me. No way. Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you'd have been with Bayern maybe or something.
That was Bayern. Literally, I've just moved to Munich, and we went there. That was my first time. I remember thinking, what is going on here? It was such a change for me, like from candid and everything. But I was just.
But no, that's what I'm dying to get into this with you because you're different to like all the players that 2006 World Cup, right? We all kind of had a pathway.
Yeah.
And it was all the same. And I think fans, kind of players, even like it was hard for everyone to comprehend your path.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through it? Like you grew up obviously in Canada.
I couldn't even. It's just so. It was just different. I mean, my dad was English. My mum was Welsh, and my dad used to work in the steel industry, and he got an opportunity to go to Canada. And obviously there was loads of jobs, and it was like cheaper housing, and he just thought, for him, I just want a change of scenery. So I ended up living there, growing up there. But both my brothers were born over here, and my mum and dad. So in the end, I was like an outcast in my own family because I was the only person not born in England or Wales.
Did you have a Canadian passport?
Yeah, we all did in the end. But so then, growing up there, we just played football because my dad, even though people think you're Canadian as such, and I am because I was born there, but we grew up in an English home because my parents were English, do you know what I mean, or British. So it was Sunday roast and 20 cups of teas a day. My dad played football. I had two older brothers, so we just did whatever, as a boy or as a younger kid, you just, wherever they go, you go, don't you? So my dad was like semi-pro, really good player. My older brother was really good, and I was just always on the side of the pitch playing football just because of them. Yeah,
because you think certainly Canada, you think like of ice hockey or certain games that we don't really have over here. Like, but you saying, did you play those sports?
Oh, we played everything.
Yeah,
I didn't play much football before I signed for Bayern. I played more basketball. But our winters are crazy. They're like minus anything, minus 5 to 30. So I'd come home from school and I'd drop my backpack. I'd go straight to the ice rink, just play hockey for like 4 hours.
Do you think that had any sort of, I don't know, did it give you some extra skills that perhaps you didn't see in other, like, did that sport have anything transferable that brought into your football game?
I think so. I think they've proven that now academies now, rather than just play football all the time, they say, go do other stuff, play other stuff, stimulate other muscles. And it's good also to not just play football, 7 days a week. So I think because I played basketball and I loved it. That's why I wore 23 at Bayern Munich, because of Michael Jordan. Because of the time difference, I couldn't really watch football. My dad got up at like 7 to watch it, but I didn't because I was like 14. So I grew up watching Michael Jordan because that whole, Michael Jordan era Chicago Bulls, that was, when I turned the telly, that was on. So that's why he was like my hero, and I wanted to play basketball. But if I could have, I would have been a basketball player. But I was vertically challenged.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You had the skills, and I had the physique.
And I wasn't a really good shooter, but I was a good playmaker.
Yeah.
So because I was fast, so actually playing basketball, and not being very good at it, but having to work at it. When I took that over to play football, it actually really kind of helped me.
I guess the speed of both games as well. I mean, you can't not have an intensity with ice hockey or basketball.
Yeah, and it's super explosive because you're like always jumping and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if you grow up in North America, you play everything. You know, you play in the summers, you play tennis and golf with your mates. You know, you play ice hockey, you play American football, basketball.
Yeah,
literally everything.
I didn't know it was such a massive influence to you. Did you ever get to meet Michael Jordan?
No, but to be fair, a good friend of mine was Steve Nash. I don't know if you know Steve Nash, but he was, his brother played for the Canadian national team, and Steve was the opposite of me. So Steve's a big Tottenham fan. He wanted to be a professional football player, but was good at basketball. So we had a mutual family friend that set us up, and I used to go watch his games. I used to get him tickets for the World Cup, and he basically, we had the flip. I wanted to play basketball, and he wanted to play football. So that was, I love basketball because it was just so... The guy, like the size of them and stuff, like everyone goes on about you at your size and stuff, but you're like average size in the NBA.
Oh yeah. I remember being in Miami once on a summer break, and you know the whole team came in. I mean, it might have been Miami Heat, most of them, and I was just, I couldn't believe it. You know, like it just felt normal.
Have you ever met Michael Jordan?
No. How does it come about with Bayern then? So were you in Calgary?
Calgary, where I grew up, yeah. So I just played in my neighborhood team, to be fair.
And then how did Bayern spot you? How does that happen?
So our team was pretty good, but we were kids. You know, the thing is, in Canada, everybody's from somewhere. Do you know, because the country's quite young. So everybody, you know, you just got a mix of Spanish and Italian and Irish and Scottish and English and literally everything. And most of those guys play football. Love football, so their kids play. So, you know, I think up to like 12, 13, the kids I played with, we could have gone and played anybody anywhere in the world.
They're a good side.
No, they're just that talented.
Oh, okay.
Thing is, when you get up to like 12, 13, and then there's other distractions, isn't there? You know, there's like other school and girls and friends, and you know, some of the guys get off track. So, yeah, I just played for my neighborhood team, and my dad was obviously quite keen on it because he was semi-pro. My older brother was really good player. Probably could have been a Premier League player from talent wise, but hurt his knee when he got offered a contract at Bolton. Went home to finish the last year of school and hurt his knee, so that never materialized for him. So it was kind of in the family. I remember I had this German coach who saw me when I was about 13. He was from East Germany. When the wall went down, he went over to Canada, you know, just for an opportunity. And he saw me play, and he said to my parents and me, he said, like, you're pretty good, but I was tiny. He said, if keep going, I'll set some trials up in Germany, because he was German. His best mate was a youth team coach at Bayern. And you probably couldn't do it nowadays, but I remember going on trials, staying in his place.
But that's crazy. So he can't have been doing that with many people, because that's a big thing to spot someone locally and basically say, like, we'll set something up in Germany.
Oh no, I mean, thing is, it's different for these guys because they all grew up in all these systems and stuff, and you know, in these academies, and everyone's spotted, and you're like, we didn't have any. So after me, then everybody was trying to recreate what happened to me, because obviously, you know, it didn't cost anything, and I didn't really, you know, like, I used to pay to play football.
Used to pay at that
But my
point.
parents had to pay for me to play. Yeah. It wasn't like, so then after, when it all kind of, happened, it was quite surreal, really. So he set up the trial. I went over. I didn't know anything about Germany. Literally.
Did you not speak the language?
I didn't know. Crouchy, I did not know one thing about Germany. Not one.
But how does that feel like for you?
You know, back then, I mean, people are going to laugh and think we're like granddads and stuff, but there was no mobile phones or anything, you know, so remember, there was no internet really, I don't even think really at that time. So I had like a calling card, and I used to go to the phone booth or whatever it was and call my parents. But basically you had to figure it out, because you didn't really have all this instant feedback or FaceTime or phone calls and stuff. So,
but your dad must have thought it was the right idea.
Oh yeah, he knew what Bayern Munich was.
Right?
He knew what a huge opportunity it was.
Yeah.
I literally didn't have a clue. If somebody would have told me they were in the, 4th division or champions of Europe 3 times instead. I wouldn't have known any different. So in that sense, I was probably quite fortunate. I went to a great team. And I remember thinking when the first session started, what it's like with the boys, like new people coming in all the time. You think, is he any good? Is he rubbish? I remember thinking, and the coach said to me, "Oh, and there's like 12 under-17 international players in this team from Germany."
And how old are you now over there?
I was 15 on
15 when you come over.
And he said, "Yeah, we got like all these international players." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I remember thinking, I'm out of my depth here.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I just thought, no, they hadn't kicked the ball yet.
Beforehand.
When you said that, I thought,
okay.
I mean,
I could be in trouble.
Like that year, I was still working at McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, because my parents didn't have much money to give me, so I wanted a part-time job. So after school, I go, I was like, I wasn't say chef, but I was cooking stuff. So then to be on a pitch in a game in training like that, I remember thinking, I'm in trouble, yeah. And then literally, like the ball rolled, and after like 30 seconds, I thought, I might be all right, yeah. And that was one of the moments that kind of changed my whole mindset of, because when you grow up, everybody says, "Oh, you can't do this," or "Don't dream so big," or "Don't." So you don't really think it's even possible until you actually get in the mixer, and then you think, might be all right, yeah.
So you feel comfortable amongst these players?
Yeah, I wasn't out of my depth, definitely not. And then also,
you seem very relaxed about this situation.
Yeah, I was
outside. That feels like the most intimidating.
But do you know what? I think you got fight or flight.
Yeah.
Do you know? And I think I was really lucky. And I think I read this as like a statistical thing. A lot of professional athletes are the younger sibling, or have siblings, because I think growing up being the youngest, we were 3 boys. I had to, your brothers. You fight, don't you? It's just how it is. And the youngest one gets it the most. So I had to learn to just compete. And I didn't realize until I actually got into these environments and stuff, we can all play because we were professionals. But I didn't realize my greatest attribute probably was that I could compete. And I could probably outcompete people that were more talented than me when it got into the mixer.
See, I'm just trying to work out the timing on this as well, because I've got memories of being young, really enjoying the film Space Jam, right? And so you must have been a big fan of that as well, I'm imagining, Michael Jordan, 23. But you're also working in McDonald's, and I remember going to Mackey's and getting the little
14.
space...
I can't believe they employed me. I don't even know how that's even legal.
The little space Jam
doesn't
toys.
feel right, does it?
425 I got. 420, 420.
But this is incredible. So you're going over there, you're making things happen. It's actually working for you, this sort of bizarre situation that's come about. So were you intending to be in Germany for a really short amount of time, or was the intention to, this could be the next stage of your life?
Well, no, the plan was they'd never taken anybody from that far.
Yeah.
And Crouchy knows what the teams are like. There's boys coming in all the time from everywhere on trial. So they had never taken anyone from that far. But you don't know until you put the boys in the mixer, and so they thought that I think I remember him saying, Wolfgang Dremler he used to be an ex-German international. He saw me play. After like 30 seconds, he said to me, the worst you'll play is 3rd division. So the Bayern second team played in the League One. Yeah. So when you kind of were finished in the academy, you'd go into there, and if you're good enough, then you'd go into the first team. Like, Philip Lahm, Thomas Muller, Schweinsteiger, they all played in the second team, which was League One. And I remember he said to me, and I remember thinking, 3rd division, no. But still, it was professional football, which I didn't have in Canada. So, once you get into that environment, then it's up to you. What you kind of make of it.
And you made of it pretty well. To be honest. You end up first season winning the Champions League.
We won the league with the literally last kick of the game.
You win the league.
2 weeks later, we won the Champions League.
Yeah, and you're 20 years old, and I'm fast forwarding a little bit there. Obviously, you've got to play obviously in the youth team, and then and like you say in the second team. But then you're thrust into this limelight. You've got players like Effenberg, Scholes, Kahn, Lahm.
No, Lahm wasn't. He came up to the first team, and the manager, I remember, he said, "No,
not ready.
Go away."
But before you were ready.
2 years, he went to Stuttgart on loan. Yeah, they all did. David Alaba, Tony Kroos, I don't think many. Schweinsteiger was one of the only ones that stayed, but most of them went on a couple of years.
But what's that like training in that kind of environment?
Oh, it was brutal. In a good way. Back then you couldn't do it now because of like HR and all that. But back then training was brutal.
Who's the toughest?
Everyone. Like even when you did a box, like the boxes, you did a box and somebody play a bad ball, and it's like That ball, you go in and say, like, we're going to have a tear up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was loads of tear ups all the time. Yeah.
Well, like pure winners, though.
Yeah. Everybody was a winner.
Yeah.
And it was just within, like, our 3 presidents were probably, Franz Beckenbauer, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. So he was like Ballon d'Or winner in the 70s. So we'd come in after games and they'd just be there and they'd be like, that was rubbish. You lot were rubbish. And we won. So that was like, it wasn't enough just to win. Everybody had a really high standard. And training every day was just, literally, you just had to scrap for it. I remember the first 6 months, everyone just kicked the life out of me. But as a young lad, you just take it on the chin and you get up.
Did you feel, looking back, that was a bit of a kind of blooding in?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
I remember Hitzfeld, who was my manager at the time, probably the best piece of coaching advice I ever got from anyone. I was like, Germany is very much about young lads, do everything for the older guys. Open doors and balls and cones and goals and everything. And I remember I was like collecting the balls after a session one day. I was on my own. And he come over and he said to me, Owen, the only way this works is if these guys hate you. If these guys hate you, they respect you because they're fearful of you. He said, when you come out onto this pitch, you got to hunt everybody down and you go for the jugular on everyone. And you got to have no respect. But when you get off the pitch, you got to open doors, carry balls, carry cones. And he said, I can't help you anymore because I got to be loyal to the old boys and I can't lose them. But you keep doing what you're doing, you'll be just fine. So from that moment on, my quiet moment with me, every time I went on the pitch, I was getting after everyone. And it literally probably changed my whole mindset, really. Well, it didn't change my mind because I was doing it anyway, but it just, him just giving me a little quiet, like, you're good.
Mate, that's some quote that. This only works if they hate you.
Yeah. And do you know what? 6 months later, Effenberg, who was like our captain at the time, amazing player, we were getting on a plane somewhere and for a friendly. And I remember he was like, I was like, oh no, Effe, you go first. And he's like, no, you go, you'll be my successor. You've earned it. And that's how it was.
Really?
Yeah. Just mad out of the blue. Just, I didn't ask for anything. And I think back then you had to really earn it. Like, and it took about like 6-8 months of that. But so, and I quite like that, that we had that back then. It was different. You did have to earn it, didn't you?
But that, of course you had to earn it. But I think, in that environment, being away from home, like a different language, there's so many factors. So there must have been periods where you went home and went like, this is tough. Like, was there some dark times over there?
Yeah, of course it was. But you know what? I don't think we didn't really have a chance to make excuses. Do you know, I didn't really have anybody to, like, again, there wasn't much of an HR department. Oh, well, there wasn't one.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to say to your coach, oh, I'm feeling upset or stressed or something, because he would look at you like,
Yeah.
Which is great now that you can.
Yeah.
But you probably didn't have that.
No, definitely not.
No, and I didn't have, and sure, not in Germany. I wasn't going to say to my guy who's like, he'd be looking at me like, you want to make it?
Yeah.
So it was hard, but you know what? I got my head down and just kept chipping away.
Did you learn the German insults first? Was that your
I remember
first
like literally my first
or?
week, because Germany was really cool like that. You had to, every morning or afternoon, the boys were coming after school, you had to go training, the manager would be on the pitch and you had to go up and shake his hand. So I remember you got to shake his hand, which we didn't do that in Canada really. And so I'd go and they'd like tell me a few things to say to him. So for literally the first week, every time I shook his hand, he just looked at me like, this fella for real. And I'd look over, all the lads are laying on the floor. I literally told them the worst things possible in German. And then after about a week, he said, "Owen, stop listening to those guys."
What's your German like?
I'm fluent now.
You're fluent now.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for you to be fluent?
That's probably what completely changed my accent. So like even my mates from Canada are like, what, mate, what is your voice and accent? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I think just speaking a different language just completely altered it.
You being in Canada and trying to learn German.
You're a mess.
No, literally, I'm a mess. I call myself a global citizen now. I get people coming up to me arguing with me that I'm Irish.
Yeah.
They're like, I said, mate, I'm not Irish, I swear to you. And they're like, you are, and they're from Ireland. And I'm like,
but do you think that's what like blew people's mind in fans of England? Did that when obviously all of a sudden you're playing for England, you've chosen to represent England. That I think a lot of people struggle to get their head around the fact that hold on a minute, what Canadian?
Well, because you wouldn't be able to place it. My name is English. Well, Owen's Welsh and Hargreaves is very English. So I think somebody saw me play in a tournament for Bayern against Man United in, I think it was 2000, I think. Somebody called the FA because of my name on my shirt. So, yeah, I mean, in a way, I never really thought about it because growing up in Canada, everybody's from somewhere. So all my friends were like every race and religion and color. So I didn't really see that. Only when people started to see me differently, because I was like, I remember when I had that first training session in Munich, the lads are like, "You Canadian? You live in an igloo?" I was like, "No, man, I don't live in an igloo. I live in a house." But they couldn't picture it.
Yeah.
And then being in Germany as this Canadian, and then playing there, and then getting picked by England with where I was born and where I was playing, and then my accent, it was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Confused people, right?
Yeah, but to be fair, I learned to just kind of just embrace it. And I used to consider myself like Switzerland. I was like neutral. I was in, because back then we had all the camps. You had Liverpool and Arsenal and Chelsea and United and
very cliquey in England as well.
Yeah.
Like,
but
really
I felt like I could drift in and out of them all because I wasn't.
Yeah.
We've
talked about when Pete got his call up. When you got it, I guess I've always wondered this about you. Was it because there were all these other countries that in theory you could represent? Did you seek a kind of further commitment from England or want to understand a sort of long-term goal? Was there an element of just getting the call up and
I wasn't really in a position for that. Like Germany wanted me to play, Canada wanted me to play, Wales wanted me to play.
Could you have conceivably played for Germany?
No. My dad wouldn't. I mean, he wouldn't have cared because he would have been happy for me. But if I chose that, but what do you want to do when you're a young kid?
Yeah.
You want to make your dad proud, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because that's why you play. In the end, as much as you're wearing an England shirt, your family's name's on that shirt. So for me, my dad used to say to me, I don't care how you play, just give it all you got. So whenever I used to play, I used to just think of that. So when the opportunity, like Canada, I always thought I'd play for Canada. But then back then it was different, like with the time differences, and I was coming away. I was in the first team trying to break in, and then to go play a camp in, in North America, I might have lost momentum, get into the first team. And then in my first year, we won the Champions League, and all of a sudden everyone's like, who's this kid? And everybody was like knocking on my door. But really, ultimately, all it came down to was, A, I wanted to play with the best players, and B, I just wanted to make my dad proud. And I wanted to, even if I played one game for England, I would have been proud.
Do you remember the moment telling him that you were going to play for England?
Not really. I think he knew more than me. Like, I didn't know what I could achieve, but I think he did because he knew football. So I think growing up in the environment I did, I wasn't on the right, I wasn't on my thought process really. Like, I was going to school and working at McDonald's, playing on my basketball team, and obviously my football team was good too, but not Bayern Munich good. So it just wasn't. And then once I got into that space, and then I probably had like 4 or 5 hurdles in my career, like going to the Bayern Academy and then get into the first team, then playing internationally and stuff. Then I was like, every time. So what I used to do, I tried to make it as hard on myself as I possibly could, just to see, not if I could fail, but I hadn't stumbled yet. Do you know what I mean? And I wanted to see how far I could take it. So like everybody was like, oh, England, you'll be a one-cap wonder. I was like, cool, let's see. Let's see. And in the end, you don't know until you get out there, and you got to believe in yourself, So for me, I just tried to chip away and kind of, just believe in yourself. None of these guys probably know any of this stuff because back then you would never make yourself vulnerable and tell anyone.
Yeah.
But
also, you'd had this experience in Germany where you'd been taught to be quite hard, I guess.
Yeah. Was
it the same when you joined England and how you sort of integrated with the team?
No, they were all mad friendly. I couldn't believe it because at Bayern, the older guys, you were getting smashed up. Honestly, that's just how it was. And then remember, I was in my first team. Like David Seaman was in there and Teddy Sheringham.
Was it
they were N30. Do you know what I mean?
2004 your first or not?
My first? No, my first team was 2000. Germany away, 5-1.
Oh, you played in that?
Yeah, that was my first cap.
It's not a bad first cap.
So I started the World Cup 2002.
Yeah, wow.
That must have hit differently for you. That was your first cap. That
so how old are you then?
game.
Yeah, that got me dropped for a month. For real?
Actually.
For real. I came back. We won the Champions League. Came back next season, and I came into the team quite late, and I was still on like a U team contract at the time. So I remember the bonus was more than I earned for the winning. That was more than I earned the whole year. So anyway, I did a new contract. And then England called me up. and then we play in Munich. It was like September, and I came on for like the last 20 minutes. We won 5-1, which was like a national travesty for Germany. And literally up to that point, I thought, right, I want to play like every game. And up to that, the first 6 weeks, I played every game, played more minutes than anyone. And after I got dropped for a month, and they just said it's going too fast.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to kind of keep you grounded, maybe.
Because they were like,
and also the fact you've just
that obviously didn't help.
Kind of helped, like,
that didn't help. But I remember I couldn't get my head around. I was so annoyed because like 2 months before I helped, you win like the biggest thing you could win. But again, there's politics on every level, And as a young kid, you also gotta navigate all that and learn all that.
Yeah, but that's a mad conflict of interest if you then come away from that feeling that playing well for the England national team could have any kind of bearing.
No, but again, also you got to remember, and you still get this. Clubs don't talk about it, but if you get a kid coming through and he's flying, Max Alman's going to have it real quick. You'll then all of a sudden you're on a contract that you're on, but then you outplay it like Yamal, and then you say, okay, well, say Crouchy plays ahead of me, but the manager's picking me now, even though I'm 19. Well, the simple thing is, whatever he earns, give me £1 more, right? Because if the manager you're paying to pick the team picks me ahead of him, then I don't think it's really that complicated. And then so if you get young kids all of a sudden taking these big steps, it messes with the financial side. And I think for clubs, you probably experience this, they're like, what do we got to do? So you try and slow it down a bit so you can...
Sort of back in a box.
A little bit, yeah.
But like, I mean, we've skirted over the fact there. I mean, you're 20 years old, right? You're in a foreign country with one of the biggest clubs in the world. You win the Bundesliga and the Champions League, you're 20 years old, right? You start in the final.
Mad.
You'll have an incredible game. You're playing with these absolute legends. I mean, we were talking off air before, Michael Owen gave an interview recently about, and he was very honest and open. And, I think sometimes it's nice, like for him, he's obviously reminding people actually, put some fucking respect on my name.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, do you feel like, you get enough respect in England for your achievements? You're the only Englishman to have won 2 Champions Leagues with 2 different teams.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what?
There's only 3 Englishmen that have won a Champions League abroad. Yourself, Steve McManaman and Jude Bellingham. These are things that, these are incredible stats.
Yeah, but you know what? I tend to be honest. I don't have any stuff in my house, memorabilia, no trophies.
Well, I know you because I know that.
No shirts, no medals, no. It's all in moving boxes in my office. So I didn't play for people's. What's the word? I just played to make my dad proud, really. And he used to give it to me straight when I played good or not. So obviously, when people cheer your name and they love it, that's great. And when people are against you, it's hard. It is hard. I'll be honest. I had some moments where I thought, man, this is mad. This is unfair. Like, I remember I come off winning the double in Germany, and I was getting booed for being in the England squad, and I got man of the match in the cup final. So bear in mind, I'm like buzzing. I come back, and I remember I was driving down. I was walking down the road in London. I must have been doing some shopping, and the guy was driving by, give me the middle finger. I was just walking, Crouchy.
So is there?
And I remember thinking, what is? I've not done anything. Do you know what I mean?
You know the Germany-England situation, obviously, we all know it's a big rivalry, right? In England, I just assume that we probably take it more seriously than the Germans would. Yeah. But you're saying in Germany, there is definitely almost an anti-English.
No, that was in London.
Oh, sorry, right.
That was because it's like they must have seen me as like Canadian or German or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the situation is so confused that fans don't know which
exactly
way to point the finger.
And do you know what? And I never cleared it up because I just didn't think. Well, I wasn't that type to like blow my own horn anyway.
Yeah. People just see Germany. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
you know what?
Munich,
but I remember I got picked in that England squad and Adrian Bevington. You remember? And so when they did the team, like all the Sunday Journos were in there, and they all got annoyed, which was weird. Anyway. So we're at the Lowry hotel in Manchester, and I had to have a sit down with them, with like 8 of them. Basically, they sat in front of me and said, "What are you doing in the team? Why are you in the squad?" And I was like, "Okay."
Well, I've earned it, no?
No, but Adrian knew.
I've just won the Champions League. I'm 20 years old.
But no, this was that was 2006, I think. But Adrian knew I could hold my own, and I said to him, "Guys, look, with the utmost respect, if you would watch me play properly, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't say that. But you guys are busy covering the Premier League in England, which is fine. But you guys, there's no way if you watch him play, you're going to think that. And I remember as we walked out of that room, Adrian was like, bit lively with them, because they're lively, aren't they? And anyway, at the end of that tournament, when I walked through the mix zone, all those guys that had a go at me, they all kind of, and I still see them to this day, they all like gave me a round of applause.
Really?
God, I love that.
Yeah.
It's like quite Mike Bassett about that situation.
No, but it's not. I wasn't trying to get anything out of it. I was just like, guys, like, come on, man, just give me a chance. Do you know what I mean? It's hard enough playing anyway. Now having you guys against me. Do you know what I mean?
And I suppose, was it 2006? In the World Cup, that was my first World Cup. And you ended up with England's best player, right? And you won for the year as well.
Is that when we went to Valdelobo?
Yes.
Before?
Yes.
I remember we were. Do you remember this when we went to lunch?
Yes.
With Abby.
Yeah, that's right.
And I remember Abby, like, she said to me, obviously because I was probably the outcast in the camp, wasn't I? Really? Why are you playing for England?
Do you know what she asked? She asked all the questions that everyone wants to ask that doesn't.
Do you know what? And I said to her, no, it was such a good question because like everybody used to think it and stuff. I was like, oh, my dad's English and he'd be really proud and stuff. I was like, oh, cool. But you know, it was like
I remember us going for lunch and dinner. We spent a lot of time with you in Avenue.
You did. And we were the young guys.
Yeah,
when
that's
we
right.
were.
And obviously, like he mentioned his dad there, and obviously we worked for TNT together and stuff. And we ended up Champions League finals. And his dad is one of the best human beings you'll ever meet in your life.
Well, has his dad met your dad?
Yes, and Ab absolutely loves your dad.
I remember
honestly, how's Owen's dad every time.
we had such a laugh. But again, people forget like you're a football player, you're young guys trying to like break into break into England and stuff, and then your family's there, your missus is there, your parents are in around it. It's like it's a big adjustment for everyone.
But you know what's so difficult about that team, right? You're at midfield, right? You got Beckham, Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes in around it, Carrick,
crazy.
Scott Parker, Jermaine Genius on the fringes as well. Like you played games, and I've got lots of questions about this midfield, and I'm sure you've answered them all before. But you managed to get yourself in there, and did you feel like there was a better balance? Say you play with Lampard or you play with Gerrard, rather than kind of Gerrard and Lampard. Something when you came in 2006, you gave us kind of more stability in there.
Yeah.
What would you have done if you're England manager? Regardless, you're not bigging yourself up or putting yourself down. Who'd you play in midfield?
To be fair, it was probably your guys' fault. It was probably the striker's fault in a way.
Because we had to play two.
Yeah, because back in the day you played 4-4-2, and it was Michael Owen and Wazza, and you're going to play them, right? Because they were both out of this world. And then you had Becks on the right, so he wasn't going to get dropped. And the left wing was always kind of a thing for us. We didn't really sort that out. So then we'd work around those. We work around those three, and then we work back. And then say, well, Stevie's got to play, and Frank's got to play. And then Scholes, he kind of lost out, which is insane, really, because it probably could have been, the whole thing could have been built around him, really. So I think if it wasn't back, if you would have played like now, and you would have had, say, one striker and couple of wingers, you could have played 2-10 Stevie and Scholes or whatever. But I think one thing I learned is football's about balance. And as much as you want to play the fantasy football guys, when we had the ball, do you remember training was crazy?
It's unbelievable.
The standard was just off the charts crazy.
The boxes were a joke. The little boxes, little rondos.
Yeah.
That was the best standard of rondos boxes.
No, but that's what I mean. The standard was, I used to think before a game, we're going to win everything. We'll win the Euros, we'll win the World Cup, definitely. But the problem we had was, all those guys were the best guy for their team. Frank at Chelsea, Becks at United or Real Madrid, Stevie at Liverpool. Literally every guy was the guy. So the problem is we only had one ball, and then the other team wanted it too. So you got one ball between 22 guys. And I always thought our biggest issue was, when the other team got it back, we could never get it back. Do you remember?
Yeah.
There were that crazy teams keeping the ball off us. And if you couldn't get it back, then basically those world-class guys couldn't, they weren't world-class without the ball. So we couldn't win those games. Do you know what I mean? So in a way, now, if I was fan, I probably would have picked the guys too. You probably would have, wouldn't you? Because you wouldn't want to really drop anyone. Or you would have gone to a back three or something. But every guy was so elite. And to be fair, to win it, you got to remember, like my first tournament, 2002, we played against R9, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos,
this is my problem. That Brazil team.
and everybody goes, "Oh, you guys underachieved." Right? We lost to Brazilian Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, literally the whole team was stacked. So what right did we have to?
The France team at that time as well, Henry, Zidane.
Yeah. And the other two, we went out on penalties against Portugal. So, and it could have gone either way. So yeah, we definitely underachieved. But I think if anything, we probably had too many great players.
Didn't feel like a team, did it? And I think even, we talk about how fractious it was in in and around the place. You can't go to war like that on a Saturday and then be friends on a.
But you know what, Crouchy? I don't think it was as fractious as everyone makes out.
No, it's not fractious, but there was certain little cliques, obviously. And I think
it was very cliquey back then.
When once we're all on a football pitch, that goes out the window anyway. It's not, I agree with you, but there isn't.
Out of interest, what table would you sit on? Because
I sit with the young lads.
Liverpool
sit with me and
table.
Yeah. No, do you know what? You'd sit with the guys your age, really. I think. Because I think, especially the new lads that come into the camp, they kind of sit together, wouldn't they? And you get the United boys at the end, the older guys and stuff. So it's like anything. It's at school. You find your little tribe within it. You know what I mean?
You just said something really interesting. I just want to make sure I've interpreted it right. You talk about obviously the team full of world-class players, but they need the ball to be the world-class players. I've never really thought about, it's not that you could select a different team necessarily, but the idea that getting the ball back and getting the ball off these other teams, however ridiculous they are, do you think there was enough of an emphasis on that?
Well, think about it. If
you were so good at that as well.
Yeah, that was probably my best attribute. So when I was a kid, I was always the 10. But then as you go further up the level and everyone gets good, everyone gets better and better, you think, so you gradually start getting pushed back, don't you? And what I didn't realize at the time was my greatest attribute, I was really explosive. So that was quite valuable. But the thing is, when you play in a game, right, think about it, his job was to score goals. Beck's job was to create them, or Stevie or whatever. But if I can get Crouchy an extra 10 opportunities to score, he'll probably take one. If you can give Beck's an extra 8 or 10 looks, which a good player like that, they turn over the ball probably 8 or 10 times, they get it back for the team. So if I can give Scholes or Stevie or Frank or Bex another 10 looks at that, Michael Owen, Wayne, they're going to,
I'd never thought about your team like that.
It's an important part of the game.
That's advantageous to our team.
Getting them the ball.
But the problem is everybody wants to play fantasy football. It's like, let's get all the guys in there. Mate, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's one ball, there's 22 players. You in a top game, you might get 50, 60, 100 touches, depending on what the game is. But you got to run 12K. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just like, that's all of a sudden everybody's a number 10 now. Goalkeeper, the centre back. Mate, I don't need you to be a number 10. Just save the ball.
But you know what? Even at Tottenham, right? We had an incredible side, right? Bale one side, Aaron Lennon the other, Modric in the middle. The best when we had Wilson Palacios in there, we played. He'd go win the ball high up, and he'd just give it to Modric, give it to Bale. Yeah. There's an unsung role in there that is so necessary.
But look at Modric and Kroos, two of the best ever. When they won all those Champions League, who played in the middle of them?
Yeah,
Casemiro. Do you know you can't? I don't think you can win at the top level without having all the ingredients to the recipe.
Yeah, we don't see enough YouTube highlight videos of players just winning the ball back. And that's what they do.
No, but you wouldn't, because you can't just win the ball back. It's insane. You know what I mean? But all the boys can play.
Yeah.
Do you know, at our level, you have to be able to play. But again, when you get in a game like that to win a Champions League or win a World Cup, it's not about it's not about can you play. It's about can you compete. And you can outplay players that are more talented than you.
On what Crouchy was just saying there as well about Tottenham, got to ask, really, how close were you to signing for Tottenham?
I had dinner with Frank Arneson in Munich. Yeah, I did. I had dinner with Frank Arneson in Munich in this amazing Italian restaurant, and then I think he realized. I don't know. I think they had finished in a crazy position, and. Excuse me, Bayern signed a couple of players, German internationals, for my position. Or not my position, but to play centre mid, because there's always, at the top clubs, they're always signing 2 or 3 players every year. And so I thought, maybe, and I was in the England team, I thought, I might look into this. But then they were like 13th or something. And I was playing Champions League football every week. So it didn't materialize. But I had dinner with Frank, who was really cool. I thought about it. But no, in the end, I stayed at Bayern.
Obviously, incredible career, but I've got to ask you about some of the experiences. Like, Talk me through winning the Champions League at 20 years old.
Mad.
It was Valencia, right? You played a whole game, and obviously you win it again at United. Like, talk us through the Bayern one first.
Mad. I was so young, and I think at that age, I don't know if you experienced that. You're so fearless because you've never failed. You know, so you're literally like raring to go. I remember walking out with the young mascot, and I remember he was walking out in the San Siro, and he's shaking. This little kid shaking, and I remember I was probably shaking too, but I remember grabbed his hand. I was like, don't worry about it, it's going to be all right. And as I walked out, there was this big banner in German that said, today's a day to write history. And I just remember thinking, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So for me, like...
Really?
Yeah. And not like... I just remember being on the pitch and the game started, I flew my parents over for the game. And I remember just thinking, like, before kickoff, it was just full. I remember thinking, the whole world is stood watching this game. How lucky am I? You know, from when I was a young boy and your parents are watching you, and it's just you guys slogging out, getting to these games all around the world, and then you literally stood there in the biggest game of your life. And I just remember thinking, mate, just go for it. So like at 20, that was just the maddest experience. You know,
can I just say, obviously, I've been a mascot recently, and like when he held my hand, I was so nervous. It was incredibly.
Did you see this?
Yeah,
you see this?
But
only Crouchy could do that.
But no, special moments.
But you know what?
Did you know? I mean, that team you had. Did you know? Like when you looked round your Bayern team, did you think we got this?
No, well, ish, yeah, because we were in the 99 one. That same group of players that lost to United. Kind of one of the most.
How was that from a Bayern perspective?
Well, I was in the youth team at under 18s, and I was in the stand. We all lost our voices because we were shouting so much. But Bayern played amazing. We were just lost at the end. So then to be there was actually incredible, really, because it was quite resilient. And Valencia were in 2 finals, so we played Valencia, and they had an incredible team, like Mendieta and Aymar,
young John
Carew. So I remember after the game, we had won, and I was sat with my mom and dad, and I was just really new to the first team, and I didn't even celebrate because I didn't want the boys to think I was a bluffer.
Yeah.
So I swear to you, I didn't even celebrate, Crouchy. Didn't have a drink, nothing. I was just zoned in for already next season.
What is mad focus? You've just won the Champions League, and you're.
I think we won. I'm pretty sure this is true. We won. That game was Wednesday evening. We finished at like midnight, extra time, whatever. We played a game in New York, I think, on the Friday or Saturday against the Metro Stars because Mateos went to New York. And because they didn't think we were going to win the Champions League final, so they had this friendly arranged. And I played 90 minutes in that.
Fuck me. But hold on, didn't you play 120?
Yeah, we did 120. In Milan. But I said in the friendly 2 days later.
Yeah.
I think I played in that.
You played 90 minutes.
So like I probably wasn't wired, you know. Yeah, I was just, I don't know. When you feel like you get an opportunity like that, you just want to like do everything you can. Do you know what I mean? And
so there was no real celebration after that win.
Oh, the boys celebrated, yeah. But I didn't, because I was so new to the team. You know what it's like when the young kids come through? He's like, oh, he's a bit flash and all that. Yeah. You didn't do that in Germany. You just did not.
Even if you win a Champions League.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
Do you know, it wasn't. I could have easily, and I'm sure it would have been completely accepted because I played a part in the game and stuff. I played the whole game, but it was more out of respect for them. Do you know that I didn't want them to see me like a flash in a pan. You know.
Oh, that's credit to you, mate. You know, that's an old head on young shoulders.
I wish I would have. The only regret I would say, I wish I would have enjoyed it more in my career. But you know what? When you're in it and you just like, and say you play for your club team and then you play international Champions League and then you play internationally, it's actually, I think it's a lot different than just playing one game a week.
Yeah.
So you gotta, and if you play for like a top team that expects to win all the time, you can't really have an off day, because if you have one, you're going to get it in the neck.
You're getting replaced.
But what a mad situation for you to be in the stands then, watching Bayern Munich lose to United in that one of the greatest finals of all time. But from retrospective, looking back now, like for you to be a player for both, and
you win the Champions League for United, right?
Well, do you know, and that's why, I mean, it was amazing. And to be fair, the only team I was I don't think people understand how big a club Bayern Munich is. Like stadium, training ground, living in the center, living in Munich, like the center of Europe. A day off. If you had a day off, I could drive to like 4 countries in 5 hours.
A lot of the players don't leave, right?
You wouldn't leave.
I know speaking to Xavi Alonso, Pepe Reina was there for a while. They've all said, speaking to you, I spoke to you at length about it, and you're like, you don't realise until you're there the size of that football club.
Well, so I remember one of the times I first did a television show, Graham Souness was there, and he said to me, do you mind if I ask you a question? I said, yeah. He said, why the F did you leave Bayern Munich? I've been thinking, what do you know? Like, what would he know about Bayern Munich? You know, he didn't play there, whatever. And that's what he's at. What a great club that is. And I said, you know what, Graham? It wasn't that I wanted to leave. I just wanted a different sporting challenge after 10 years. And he said, that's the right answer. So it wasn't like against Bayern Munich. I was just, the only club I really had like, I don't know, like a soft spot for was just United. And then the team that we had was like Sir Alex, and then you walk into the dressing room. Imagine going to a new school and you don't really know anyone. Imagine going into that there and you literally know everyone because they're just all Wayne Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez, Giggs, Scholes. I mean, Van der Sar, Ferdinand, Neville. You just go on forever. So, and I knew them all from England as well. So I remember Gary was the first one to call me after the World Cup. He's like, boss wants to sign you. You want to come to Man United? I was like, yeah, if we can make it work.
Did you have a conversation with Sir Alex Ferguson?
Yeah, of course.
What was that conversation like?
Do you know? I remember the one of the coolest things was because it's quite surreal. All those things, you know, like.
I don't know how I'd reacted. Like,
do you know
Sir
what
Alex Ferguson giving him a bell?
But again, we all have like a poker face, right? So you try not to like you're just like reading it as you're going. And I remember he said, "Oh, do you want a cup of tea?" And I remember thinking, I can't let him make me a cup of tea. Feels disrespectful. So I was like trying to like get in the mixer, but I didn't want to piss him off either. So, you know, there was this whole, it was cool that he had acknowledged you as a player and wanted you to be a part of it. I remember he said to me, you can help us win the Champions League. And I said, yeah, but boss, that's why I'm here. Then I remember I was at Bayern at the time. It was like April, we had got knocked out. And they were playing AC Milan, and I was watching the game in a restaurant with some of the Bayern players, and they kept getting knocked out against AC Milan, and that was a big hurdle because they had Pirlo and Gattuso and that Maldini, all them amazing players, Seedorf. And I remember watching, thinking, no one else going there, kind of for a game like that. So it was cool that we were so fortunate that we were actually able to beat Barca in the semi-final, and then beat Chelsea in the final. But it's hard to win the Champions League because everyone's so good. Do you know what I mean? So people go, oh, you didn't win or whatever, but there's so many great teams like, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and, whatever. It wasn't PSG at that time. So, Chelsea and Arsenal at the time. So it was like to actually, when you get an opportunity to actually just even be in a final, it's such a privilege.
I remember how desperate the players were, certainly from an English point of view, the players that hadn't won it, the players from Chelsea and Manchester United, like, you've already won one. I think that there was a hoodoo with Chelsea and Man United. They were the two best teams in the league, but Liverpool had won one, right? And they got to another final in 2007. They had something over Chelsea felt in Europe. Yeah. Like they beat them in two semi-finals. I was part of one of those. And it felt like, and it just, the pressure that you must have been feeling, because I know that Rio and Rooney, they would have felt that, and JT and Lamps from an English perspective, I knew how desperate. I kind of saw it. I sat and watched Istanbul with Joe Cole, and he was desperate for them to lose, Yeah. There was something that...
It's weird when you play against guys you know so well.
And those players deserve... I'm not saying they deserve it, but their careers warrant having a Champions League on the CV.
And that's the brutal thing about football. Like, somebody wins, somebody loses. It's like instant. And it's not personal. Like, even for me, I felt for, JT when he slipped. Because as much as, like, you want to win... Also on a human level, we know what it's like to lose with England, stuff on penalties. How heartbreaking that is. So, like, as much as you win, and you're also a bit gutted for the work because we were together in an England camp 3 days later. Yeah. And how hard that is.
But obviously, like, it felt to me like I remember you took a penalty in 2006 against Portugal, scored it when quite a few missed. Again in Moscow for Manchester United, you take a penalty and miss. Is that the German in you?
Do you know what? I always took them as kids, as a kid for my team. So I was always quite confident. And then
I always felt confident. Like in 2006, when you stepped up, I was like,
I think everybody knew what I was going to do.
Were you always going to step up for that?
Everybody, all the boys were pointing top left.
Yeah.
All the Chelsea boys were pointing top left because they knew I was going top left. So for me, but in the end, I just thought, I practiced it that much, and I just remember getting up. I remember walking up because it's the maddest walk, isn't it? To take a penalty, it's like the whole world stops for 10 seconds, and because if you go too fast, you look weird. Do you know what I mean? And if you go too slow, you look weird. So you're trying to style it out without looking weird.
I've never thought about the walk up.
No, but what you're thinking about in that 10 seconds is crazy.
But like too fast is nervous.
Yeah.
Too slow is too casual.
Yeah. But you know what, Crouchy? It's mad. So I had a lot of them. My whole career was decided on penalties. I won 2 Champions Leagues on penalties. Got knocked out of 2 major tournaments on penalties. So I had the flip of both. So I could feel people's body language and energy if you were up, if you could feel it or not. So I remember when I walked up and against Chelsea, I was quite experienced. I was like 26, 27. I remember walking up, trying to style it out. And I remember I put the ball down. And Czech obviously was in goal. He's massive. I remember as I put the ball down, my whole plan was to smash it top left. And as I looked at the goal, I thought, Christ, he's massive. So what did I thinking, right? And all the Chelsea, everybody's pointing top left behind me, which I didn't know at the time. They told me after. So as I walked up, I said, those dicks are going to tell him where I'm going. So I thought, right, I'll go bottom.
You're thinking this in the walk up to it?
100%.
You doubted your penalty?
No. I was just thinking about it. And I was very fortunate that I was stable enough in my own thoughts and experiences that I can go. So as I put the ball down, I thought, mate, A, they've told him where I'm going. And B, he looks massive. So I thought, screw it, I'll go bottom right.
Yeah, but hang on, but is your brain not at that point competing with that idea?
No.
That if they all know it's that side, they know you're.
Yeah, exactly. So then I'm like, I'll just go bottom right. And then as I put the ball down and I took a couple steps back, I thought, fuck it, bad time to be experimenting. Smash it top left. If he saves it, he saves it. And when it went in, I was just thinking, it made me realize, mate, we're all here for a reason because we're all good. Like at our job, if he saves it, he's Peter Cech, he's pretty good too. But in that moment, don't doubt yourself, back yourself. Do you mean? And the guys that miss are the ones you can tell they don't believe. The shoulders, the confidence isn't there. So penalties is all about. In the end, it's a really easy thing, to shoot from there. We've done it a million times, but the pressure of the moment and then your thoughts on that walk and everything is what, because if you think, if I miss, I'm going to be on the front of the paper and everyone's going to be pissed off at me. But if you think, if I score, I'm going to go up into the lounge with my family. I'm going to have 10 beers with my family and we're going to go mad and have the best time ever. Instantly, the feeling within you is different. It's not, if I miss, everyone's going to hammer me. So, and I think you can see that on people. So I was very fortunate at 26 or 7. I processed all that on that walk and I thought, okay, go with, trust your gut. And that is, I think, that's why experience is kind of important.
What was that night like in Moscow? What was that initial moment where you've won it? I know you've done it before, but to celebrate kind of a lot of your England teammates there as well.
Oh, it was amazing, yeah. Do you know what it's like? It's hard to win, and then to win at that level, and you celebrate with all the staff and your family are there.
What did you do that night?
Oh, everyone just went mad. Rio was absolutely smashed to me. It was all over the guy. People are missing the coach the next day. It was just, but it was just like the best carnage you could get. And I just think sharing that with it's like with your parents are there and stuff. Everybody's put in 15 years of work, getting you to that spot. So then to be able to actually, and share it with the kitmen and all the other staff is just, it's to this day, I reckon at least every day one person comes up to me and speaks to me about Man United. Every day. And that's why I always say to the guys, when you play in a game like that, you have the opportunity to create memories forever. People will remember you, they remember your moments on that. You think about Michael against Argentina or Wazza, the overhead kick. People remember players on probably 4 or 5 moments in their whole career, no matter how good they are. So you have an opportunity in that moment to make a moment that not only changes your life, but people will remember you for a long time. And I just think that's really, if you can take that into the game, it's actually a really powerful thing to actually, you know.
I think that what you're saying there is so inspirational, because if you look at it when you're going into big games, if you think, you know, this can be my moment, and I think that will make you want to take a penalty, you know, want to step up, want to perform.
But you think about how hard it is. Actually, you look at your kids. You know, my kids. I coach my son's Sunday league team. If you think now, like the little journey that they're on there, and how much it means to them and you, and then to actually have a moment where you could decide something to win something, you know, it's like there's so much hard work that goes into that. So obviously you got to enjoy it, but actually, you know, be conscious that grab the chance while you got it.
Yeah, but even if does that positivity or that want to have that positive moment, does that not just add pressure in a different type of way?
Yeah, but pressure is a privilege.
Pressure is a privilege.
No, if you're no good, pressure is a problem. But if you're good, there's a reason you're playing in the Champions League final or the World Cup, because you're good. Go show people.
Oh God, you're brilliant. You are. This podcast. No, I'm just saying. Like, I'm just thinking of anyone who's listening to this on the way for a job interview or like.
No, but it's true though. You got to back yourself.
You're brilliant. Go and do it.
No, but yeah, class, even if you don't think it, mate, you got to back yourself. So if we get in, like with it, mate, I want you to believe in me.
Yeah.
Because if I want you to give me a job, if I say, mate, I'm not very good at nothing, I'm a pain in the ass, I annoy everyone. Do you know? Like you gotta. So I think when you get a chance like that, I probably had 4 or 5 in my career. And then the first one was when I went on trial, and those moments were so powerful. I was like, wow, you know. And we all get chances, like, but you got to grab them when you get one, and make the most. And then you got to think, right, how far can I go? Can I do more? Okay, let me test myself. And that's why leaving Bayern, I didn't want to leave Bayern, but I wanted to test myself in the Premier League. I wanted to play for Man United, you know. So even like that England step. So actually, I love when guys leave their comfort zone, like Jude and Trent, you know, so much respect for them for actually saying, right, let's see what this is about. Put myself in the mixer with these guys and see, you know, I might fail, but at least I tried.
Yeah. I love that.
Obviously, all the players you played with, you know, like I think of Ronaldo at his peak or United, and Rooney, Tevez, Scholes, you know, Lahm, Effenberg, you know, some of the great players, Khan. Who's the best? I mean, who would you... who would you say is the best you've played with?
Where you start? I mean, they were all crazy. I mean, my first big game, I played against Luis Figo in the Champions League semi-final. And I remember walking out in the tunnel, Crouchy, and he was stood next to me in the white Real Madrid kit, his hair slicked back. He literally looked like God. He was glowing. And I was like this little scraggly, like 19-year-old kid. Kit wasn't even tucked in. And I remember looking across thinking, this guy is like literally glowing. And, you know, so for me, playing against your heroes and then actually you win a game like that makes you realize, as good as those guys are, they're actually out there, you're all just a player. So I loved like playing against Zidane. That was one of the coolest things. He was probably the best I played.
I mean, you're in direct competition against Zidane.
Yeah.
Right?
And he was just, I remember like trying not to like overly look at him in the game, because do you know, like you're literally admiring him. And I remember how big he was. He was so much bigger than I thought. But then, you know, like...
How do you get the ball off him?
He was hard. I remember he like, because I was quite quick, so I remember I could normally surprise people, but so I remember he kind of like left it there. He must have known, and I was thinking, you can't leave it there. Like I'm gonna get it.
I'll get that.
And I didn't realize how big he was. And he dangled me in to go get it, and then he just put his quad there, and I just ran into his quad, and then he did that pirouette away from me.
Oh yeah.
I remember as he was running away, Crouchy, I was like, that was so cool.
Now I've got to chase him.
Yeah. No, but you know, like, so when you play guys like that, like Scholes, he was crazy good. You got to think, like, Paul Scholes was, how tall he is, 5'7". But in his brain, he was so far ahead of everyone. And then Stevie G was just insane player. He could literally do anything. Tackle, shoot, pass, had the heart of a lion. I mean, Prime Wazza was mad. It was like a video game. And then young Michael Owen was, I don't think people realize what, you know, force of nature Michael was. You know, so it's hard to, like, Beck's had a sat-nav in his foot. He was just finding people, wasn't he?
Yeah, outrageous.
I mean, so I let Ronaldo, I was with him in that first year when he won the Ballon d'Or, and we were in the gym, I remember. And
that must be intimidating.
No, he was cool. But we were in the gym working out, and we with Mike Clegg, the strength coach, who was cool, and he was doing these mad sit-ups. And I remember he had this little break from it, and he went, "Oh, and I'm going to be the best player in the world this year." That was in the September, and we won the Premier League and Champions League, and he won the Ballon d'Or. Do you know? So to see these guys, like, people see the finished product and everything that goes with it, but actually, these guys, like, they're so elite in not just ability, but I think about prime Mo, Michael, or Wazza, or
I love you calling him Mo, by the way.
yeah, Sabeth.
I've not heard that before.
Or
Cristiano, or Tevez, like all these guys, they're all amazing players, but their mindset was what was quite Stevie was what's special. Frank, all of them, they're just.
What about in Germany? Like when you were at Bayern, like who was there one player that really, really stood out? Everything about him, you know.
Oh no, all of them were all internationals from Germany, from Brazil. We didn't have one bad player.
Yeah.
I mean, our two fullbacks were French internationals. Zizou played with Zidane. We had Brazilian strikers. We had German midfield Balak. We literally had everything. When you play in a team like that, you don't have players that aren't top. So the cool thing was you can see how everybody worked. You know, because everybody had a different system of how they got ready for the weekend, didn't they? Some guys were crazy professionals, some weren't. Some would go out, some would, you know. So as a young kid coming through and watching that, I was just kind of absorbing it all because literally, I mean, we'd have fights in training and, you know, fights would happen in the dressing room. So I think the one thing that I really learned was like every day was a competition and you had to be up for it. And if you weren't, you got found out. So I think when you play like at that level, you get into good habits, I think. And I think that is such an important thing for any young athlete playing any sport. You know, I know a lot of people aren't looking, but put the work in. Because then when you get the chance for that big moment, you're ready to take it.
Yeah.
Because I think when you do that, you give yourself a lot of confidence to actually grab that chance.
Oh, listen, I can talk to you all day, right? And I do actually, because when we're on TNT and all that, I like any quiet time, I just want to grill him because he's done things differently to me, and had experiences that, although, you know, I played at a good level, like his experiences are different to mine, and it's so interesting to hear you speak about them.
But it's nice that that's a nice thing. Everyone has a different career, but the way Crouchy's done it, and also like transitioned into the second phase, he's enjoyed it so much. But I don't think I had the talent enough to be that fun with it. Like I had to be on it all times, and I was like I had to be so focused. So I really respect that you're able to like navigate it all quite loosely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a skill because I don't think people understand how cutthroat the top is, and everybody is kind of a shark, aren't they?
Yeah.
At the top, and not because they can play, but because how competitive they are.
And you wouldn't ordinarily do the robot in a sea full of sharks, would you?
I remember that. Do you remember?
I do, right?
I'll never forget that. And that's what I mean. Even that alone was that's Crouchy. He was just...
You know what, though? Like, you know, people like Sven kept telling me to do it because it was such a pressure environment at that time. You know, some lanky striker dicking around kind of helped to alleviate some of that pressure. Because I remember Sven pulling me and saying, like, if you score, just keep fucking doing it. It's taking the heat off.
Did he? Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, Switcher. He was like, people are loving it.
But I think because you were so authentic, it actually really... If anybody else would have done it, probably... I don't think it would have been the same.
Yeah.
But everybody knew you're just like one of the most naturalist, funny people. And it's like, and that's why it works. So to have that in that environment when it's so brutal.
I'd never thought about its purpose other than just being a big celebration.
Well, bizarrely, it did alleviate some pressure because rather than talking about, you know, the game as much, there was pullouts of a fucking robot.
Where did you get the robot from?
It was Bex's party, wasn't it? You know, that's where it all started.
Yeah.
Bizarrely, my mate used to do it, and I just nicked it off him.
Has he not got the copyright? Mate, he must be fuming.
He must kill you when he sees it.
No, do you know what? We used to all do it. I remember there was a dance competition at was it Butlins? PGL.
Yeah.
And we had a dance competition, and we were all doing this robot, and they were better than me. They ended up winning a can of or a little bottle of Panda, and I didn't win. So
Panda Pops.
Yeah, so I just nicked one, pretend I had one. So basically, I'm complete imitation.
You were ahead of your time, really, with the celebrations, weren't you? Because now all the young kids, like, you know, everyone's doing my son's team at 10. Everyone's like, you know, doing the Cole Palmer one and the Erling Haaland one. You were ahead of your time.
Everyone needs a cello, mate. Listen, mate, if you don't mind, I'm going to hit some quick fires. I don't normally do this, but
go on.
I think you're the type of character that we need on the quick fires.
Go on.
Okay.
How quick?
Because you're a man of the world, that's why. Favourite city?
Munich.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Top place, isn't it?
Top. Quality, like everything. Food, like you can win stuff, you can, you know, literally on a day off you could drive to 5 countries.
Yeah.
So you can't. Where are you going to do that?
Can't fail.
We want to do an Oktoberfest there.
Yeah, we've actually talked to you. I talked to you about this.
I told you did. Bayern
Bayern
asked me to do it, but I'll see if maybe we can tie them up together.
That's what I mean. There you go. So an Oktoberfest with Owen Hargreaves.
Guys, you never been to Oktoberfest?
I'll tell you what, you haven't been to Crouchfest.
Do I have to wear a lederhosen at Crouchfest?
Ideally, please. Okay, Champions League night or World Cup night?
Only got to the quarterfinals of the World Cup twice. I would probably say World Cup, but like Champions League night is just. I had 2 of them.
It's been good to you, isn't it?
They done. Yeah, they were good. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite stadium?
Good call. I always thought the Bernabeu had something special. Do you know when you come out and you like it just went up? Do you remember?
Yeah.
And they were pretty good teams anyway, so you know it was it was a hard game. I used to love the Bernabeu. Yeah.
Favorite goal that you scored?
Probably a free kick against Arsenal for United.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was good. But I scored the first goal at the Allianz Arena from left back. That was decent. Smash it, top bins. So
they'll always have that as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Who was better in training, Ronaldo or Rooney?
What a great question. I'm sure Cristiano would disagree, but I don't know. Wazza was just, you know what Wazza was like. He was insane, wasn't he? Peak Wazza. But Cristiano was just, once he's kind of was more functional with it and not doing
the tricks,
then he became like crazy unplayable. You got to remember, like Cristiano's like 6'2", you know, 6'1", and different physical profile to Wazza. But prime Wazza was like this Brazilian English hybrid, wasn't he?
Yeah,
it was crazy.
No, that's a nice way of looking at it. Okay, Messi or Ronaldo?
I mean, hate that question. Everyone asks that.
Do you know what's hard about it? Because you know Ronaldo well.
Yeah, and you know what? He was my teammate, and I got to see him train every day, so I can't not pick him out of respect for your teammates. But again, they're different, aren't they? Messi is just like a pure genius, isn't he?
Absolute genius.
But Cristiano,
there's no wrong or right answer to this.
Nah.
Do you know we did something recently which blew your mind, and we were having a conversation about imagining footballers in different kits.
Yeah.
If you were to pick one other kit that you never ended up wearing, have you ever thought about one
that I wanted to wear?
Yeah, give us one that would just blow our minds.
Do you know what? This is the type of situation, right? Someone sent in like loads of pictures of players in kits, right? Thierry in an England shirt, with one. We had Shearer in a Man United shirt.
In a Man United
you know,
shirt.
players
that
if it was one for you, like it'd blow people's mind.
I mean, there's so many in there. I mean, I think gone are the days where the Stevie G stay at one team, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, there was that time where he was like
Chelsea was
close, wasn't it?
I think there was a
and that's hard to even thinking about that now. Stevie in blue, you can't picture it.
It's a good one.
So I'm so like obviously was probably quite torn really, but then staying home, you know, what a ledge Stevie is, you know, one man career. I love that. So yeah, I couldn't picture Stevie
in a Chelsea shirt.
Listen, anyway, thanks so much for coming on, mate.
Pleasure,
I really
man.
appreciate it. And listen, we could talk to you all day because it's so interesting. Your career's been amazing and you're obviously doing great stuff now.
Who would have thought we'd go back to 97?
I know, 97.
It's a while ago now.
That is a while ago.
We sound old, don't we?
God, I had some night in Port Rush there in a milk cup. Maybe the man I am today. Cheers, Owen.
Cheers, bud.